DataLang just got a major upgrade. You can now create multiple chatbots and then share it with a public URL, embed it on your website, or even deploy it to the GPT store. And the best part is you don't need an account to test all the different data source types supported, such as files, Postgres, Google Sheets, Notion, content like plain text or Markdown or HTML, website pages, HubSpot, contacts, and other data sources like MySQL, DSN with ODBC on your private server, and some other that I'm working on. I'm going to show you one by one. The first one is the files. Here, I'm going to upload an invoice and then ask it what's the total amount. So right now it's creating the knowledge on the GPT assistant so that my chatbots know what the files contain. So I can ask this, what does this file contain? Or give me the total. And this could take from 1 to 10 seconds, depending on your question, because if it's asking to process the data, it will may need to perform some complex equations or operations with code. So the total amount is 38,000 in Mexican pesos. Now let's move on to the next one. For the Postgres demo, I'm gonna actually start my local database and share it on ngrok. So I'm gonna open this port, which is the default for Postgres. So my local host is the one from ngrok, and the port is the one that is exposed. And my database, I'm gonna use my local DataLang connection, testing. And then here I can add something like get the emails from the user table. Now I get 8 rows, so I can now actually create the chatbot demo and ask how many users, or list the emails. And since this is on the knowledge from the chatbot, it will have instant access to it. It doesn't need to call it again. So these are all my testing emails from my local database. Now you can also put your Google Sheets that are public. I'm still working on an integration. The authorization from Google is still pending. So you can use a public URL from Google Sheets, and then it will parse it in Markdown content so you can create a chatbot. This is basically my Google Sheet where I have 2 sheets, one with customers and the other with sales. So I can ask, what's the best product? And this will go to the second sheet and do some calculations to determine what's the best product. So the best product is the smartphone because it was sold 14 times and this is the total revenue. Now let's try with content. And for content, I can actually put text, just formatted text with Markdown or with code. I'm gonna type just a simple code and ask if there's an error with this code, missing type. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Let's try with Notion. With Notion, you can select the pages and you can authorize one or multiple pages. I'm just selecting a page that I created to put data from DataLang. So I can ask, what is DataLang? As you can see, I need to first select which pages do I want to put as the knowledge. So now I can ask, what is DataLang? And DataLang is a platform designed to create custom assistants from various data sources. So that's correct. Now let's try with websites. I already have some pages, but I can add a custom one or just try it out with these 3 URLs. Now I can test these URLs. It will crawl them and it will retrieve the content in Markdown content, or you can choose to put in HTML format, whatever works for you. And now I can create the chatbot with these 3 pages. And since I'm referencing the pricing page, I can actually ask, what's the pricing? And I could obviously embed this chatbot into my saasrock.com website instead of having this crisp bubble where I need to manually answer my prospects' questions. So it knows from those pages my editions. Now, let's try with HubSpot. For HubSpot, you need to create a private app on HubSpot and then copy the access token and paste it here. All credentials are encrypted. And I'm going to select the contacts and see if it works. So it works. So I now can create the chatbot with my contacts as knowledge and say how many contacts. Or I can ask what's the last contact. But since this is sensitive information, I just prefer to say how many contacts. And it's 260 contacts. So now with a real world demo, I'm gonna go inside the app. For this, you need to be subscribed, but there's a trial plan that you can try it out. For this, I think I'm gonna create a chatbot for this page, indexer.so, so I can embed it on this website. So I'm gonna add a new data source of type website. I'm gonna call it index or websites because I can have many websites, not just this one. And for this one, I'm gonna say indexer.so, and then I'm gonna add indexer this route, and this is the landing page. And I'm also gonna add the pricing. Now, I first need to test it. So it's retrieving correctly all the data, so I can create the data view from this data source. And then I can create the chatbot with this data source containing all the data views. So indexer.so chatbot, or just indexer.so, because the users don't need to know that it's a chatbot because they already clicked on the bubble. Now, this is syncing the knowledge with my assistant. So now I can create questions or conversations. I want to try it out. What is indexer.so? Oops, it was SO. But that's actually a pretty nice domain if it were to exist, that SEO. Okay, so it works. Now I can update the chat bubble, like say that I want it to be violet and dark. And the logo, I can put it here, conversation starters, like what is indexer.so, hidden in URLs or visible in URLs. And I can save these settings, and now I can share it. And here I'm gonna copy the widget code and put it on my general settings from this, because I'm using SaaSrock, so this is possible, but of course you can put this on your project with code. And now I have this bubble and I have this conversation starter. So it should be working now. Let's see. Okay, so it works. It's that easy. You can reset the threads and you can see all the conversations that your users have had and so on. So DataLang is pretty powerful if you want to allow your business to have their knowledge in multiple data source types, and then put all of those knowledge in one chatbot, like sales assistant, customer support assistants, or client specific assistants. I hope you like it, and you can try it out for free with the trial plan. Thanks.